So my question is very close to her question, but my question is how when you do get that motivation while reading a book, it is so temporary. How do you implant it as something that you move on with your life? So for example, I read this book. This book has great lessons. I learned them. I'm gonna follow them for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and then the cycle just comes back again. So how is it
Mhm.
that when you read books, you implant them for life?
Yeah, so two things there. One is I like to microdose on books and microdose on authors. So people ask me, how do you read 10 books at a time? Well, because normally what I would do is I'd read one book. If you read a book, you read a Tony Robbins book or whoever you love. Cool. You're like really into it. Oh my God, this is great. Tony, oh, here's another idea. And you're really in the mindset for 2 weeks or however long it takes you to finish a book. But then you finish that book and you move on to a Mel Robbins book. And then you kind of forgot all the stuff that you learned in the Tony Robbins book. Not just the practical advice, but also just the energy and the mindset. And you were kind of living with him for a while, living in his brain. And now that's gone, you're moving on to somebody else. So I love microdosing, where I'm reading 10 books at a time, because that book lasts longer. So if I'm reading 10 books at a time, it might be a Tony Robbins and a Mel Robbins and a Ryan Holiday or Kristi or whoever else, right? And every 10 days, like there they are again, popping in, there they are again, popping in. So that has really helped me stay with the mindset of the author longer. The second thing is then, if you really find something that you love, chances are they're making other content as well that you can have in your environment. So if you love Mel Robbins, cool. She has other books that you can go get. She has an Instagram account you can follow. She has a YouTube channel that you can follow, right? And so the people who, they inspire you not just with the information, but they inspire you, like when you're around them, you just feel better. You feel more hopeful. You feel more courageous. So be around them more in different formats. And anytime, like Naveen actually was a great example. Naveen was a great, I mean, I get to say great things about him while he's not here, unfortunately not to his face, but somebody recommended in my audience you should do a video on Naveen Jain. At the time, this was a bunch of years ago, I had no idea who Naveen Jain was. So I go look him up and I find some of his videos. I'm like, I love this guy. Oh my gosh, Naveen Jain, this guy's amazing, right? And then I need more Naveen Jain in my life, right? So find him on YouTube, find out what he's created, find out about moonshots, right? So like when you find the people who, when you read their book or listen to their podcast or watch their videos, they inspire you, try to be around them more, because you're not getting that from your current environment probably, but now you get to choose who you follow, who you subscribe to, who you're interacting with. And if you woke up every day and watched the Naveen Jain video, for example, you're going to start believing in your moonshot more. It's just going to happen. Like, they will naturally pull you towards that. And if there's other people that you like, they will pull you towards the thing that they like. We're just typically constantly surrounded by a lot of negativity and a lot of news and a lot of people hating on each other. So you get to choose. Like, unfollow the people who make you feel worse and follow the people who make you feel inspired. So it's in your constant daily environment.
My point of this, I do follow some people, and just as you said, I watch their podcasts, I listen to their YouTube videos, I do that, but it's that certain feeling of temporary motivation that never lasts when you hear those inspiring stories of those people.
Okay,
And
so it doesn't need to last. Here's the thing, like, what's the point of motivation? The point of motivation is to give you the courage to go do something. So just feeling motivated, nothing changes in your life. You might feel a little bit better. It's like you know, you just have this little burst of happiness. Amazing. But the way to make it last is it gives you the courage to go take the action. Like, maybe you were nervous to get on here today. I don't know. Maybe you were nervous. Maybe it was super easy, but maybe you were nervous, right? And maybe you don't raise your hand. Maybe you say, no, Kristi, like, I'm not ready and my question's not good enough. I don't know what to ask, whatever. Like, you could have not been here, but you chose to be here. How do you get to this stage? Well, it's the motivation and the courage to say, pick me, I want to come and ask a question. So to then go do something. So when the next time you feel really motivated and inspired, immediately jump to, what action do I need to take right now? Because the actions are going to be the thing that change your life and the lives of others.
Thank you so much.
What's your one word?